Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Radha Madhava Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Radha Madhava Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivara Dhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivara Dhari Yashodanandana Brajadana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajadana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Vanansari Jamuna Tira Vanansari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunda Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunda Bihari Radha Madhava Gopidana Vallabha Girivara Dhari Jaya Gopidana Vallabha Girivara Dhari Yashodanandana Brajadana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajadana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Vanansari Jamuna Tira Vanansari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunda Bihari Radha Madhava Jaya Radha Madhava Kunda Bihari Radha Madhava Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare, Hare Bolo. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Bolam. Rama Rama, Hare Jaya Radha, Madhava Radha, Madhava Radhe. Jaya Radha, Madhava Radha, Madhava Radhe. Jaya Radha, Madan Mohan Radha, Madan Mohan Radhe. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Gaura Pimanandi. Jayam Vishupad Paramahamsa. Pri Vrajagacharya Stotra Satta Sri Srimad His Divine Grace. Hyderabad Charanaravind Bhakti Vedanta Swami. Sri Prabhupada ki. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki. Iskcon BBT Founder Acharyas Divine Grace Sri Prabhupada ki. Namacharya Sri Haridas Thakur ki. Samaveta Bhakti Vrinda ki. Harinam Sankirtan ki. Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki. Tiny Thai Gaura Premanande. All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to Sri Guru and to Sri Gauranga, all glories to Sri Prabhupada ki. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gyananjana Sarakaya Dakshurunmiritam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Sapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Juta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaisnavam Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatan Vitam Tvam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sabhajutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Hare Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kansana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hare Priya Vanchakalpa Tarubhyascha Vipasindubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayat Before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is our very means of conquest, let us first offer our respectful obeisances unto Narayana, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, unto Narayan Rishi, the supremmost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author. Nasta prayesha vadreshu nityam bhagavata sevayam bhagavati tamasloke bhaktir bhavati naistiki. By regularly hearing the Srimad Bhagavatam and by rendering a service unto the pure devotee, all that is troublesome within our heart becomes destroyed practically to nil, and loving devotional service unto the Supreme Lord, who is praised with transcendental songs, becomes established as an irrevocable fact. Idam Bhagavatam Nama Puranam Brahma Samitam Uttama Shloka Charitam Chakara Bhagavan Rishi Nishreyasaya Lokasya Dhanyam Swasyayana Mahat. This Srimad Bhagavatam, known as the Grantaraj, the king of all Vedic literatures, is the literary incarnation of God. It is compiled by the incarnation of God, the Srila Vyasadeva. It is meant for the ultimate good of all people. It is all successful, all blissful, and all perfect. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Sarabhyai Namaha. Om Sarabhyai Namaha. Om Sarabhyai Namaha. Mukam karoti vasalam pagom langayate girim yat kripa tamah bande Sri Gurum Dinataranam. Yat kripa tamah bande Sri Gurum Dinataranam. Hare Krishna. Welcome everyone to the morning Srimad Bhagavatam class. We are reading from Canto number 10, chapter 11, a text that we have chosen for a particular purpose. It should come across in the purport given here by Srila Prabhupada. Yes. Evam Braja Ukasham Pritim Yachanto Bala Chestitai Kala Vakyai Sva Kalena Vatsa Palau Babhuvatu. Evam brajaukasam pritim yachyantau balachastitai kala bhakyai swakalena vatsapalo babhuvatuhu. Evam brajaukasam pritim yachyantau balachastitai kala bhakyai swakalena vatsapalo babhuvatu. Evam brajaukasam pritim yachyantau balachastitai kala bhakyai swakalena vatsapalo babhuvatu. Evam brajaukasam pritim yachyantau balachastitai kala bhakyai swakalena vatsapalo babhuvatu. Evam brajaukasam pritim yachyantau balachastitai Mataji's. Evam, in this way, Braja Okasam, to all the inhabitants of Braja, Pritim, pleasure, Yachchantau, giving, Balachestitai, by the activities and pastimes of childhood, Kalavakyai, and by very sweet, broken language, Sakalena, in due course of time, Vatsapalo, to take care of the calves, Babhuvatu, were grown up. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada Ki. In this way, I will read first, then when I ask you to repeat, you can repeat. In this way, Krishna and Balaram, acting like small boys and talking in half-broken language, gave transcendental pleasure to all the inhabitants of Braja. In due course of time, they became old enough to take care of the calves. Now you may kindly all repeat. In this way, Krishna and Balaram, acting like small boys and talking in half-broken language, gave transcendental pleasure to all the inhabitants of Braja. In due course of time, they became old enough to take care of the calves. Purport. It's a short purport, so kindly listen attentively, otherwise you'll miss it. Yeah. Although short purport is very, oh, there it is, huh? Very significant, as we will see. As soon as Krishna and Balaram were a little grown up, they were meant for taking care of the calves. Although born of a very well-to-do family, they still had to take care of the calves. This was the system of education. Those who were not born in Brahmana families were not meant for academic education. The Brahmanas were trained in a literary academic education. The Kshatriyas were trained to take care of the state. And the Vaishyas learned how to cultivate the land and take care of the cows and calves. There was no need to waste time going to school to be falsely educated and later increase the numbers of the unemployed. I'll read this line again so that it sinks in, you know. There was no need to waste time going to school to be falsely educated and later increase the numbers of the unemployed. Krishna and Balaram taught us by their personal behavior. Krishna took care of the cows and played his flute, and Balaram took care of agricultural activities with a plow in his hand. Translation again. In this way, Krishna and Balaram, acting like small boys and talking in half-broken language, gave transcendental pleasure to all the inhabitants of Braja. In due course of time, they became old enough to take care of the calves. I was actually requested to choose a topic on the Leela of Krishna. Here we are in Vrindavan. And this particular Leela, all of Krishna's pastimes, isn't it, are Nitya Leela, eternal pastimes. And it's like, we chant every day, those who are committed devotees, especially those who are initiated devotees, we chant every day the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And even we endeavor to chant very sincerely, we should, but we don't all the time, or even maybe in one lifetime, we don't immediately see or have darshan of Krishna in the spiritual world. Means we're chanting mantra and we are told, this is part of our philosophy, by Shastra, by the Acharyas, that everything is contained actually in the holy name. Krishna is fully present in the holy name. The whole spiritual realm, Vaikuntha, Goloka, Vrindavan is contained in the holy name. But how many of us are able to see, to witness, to have darshan of Krishna directly? So in a similar way, we read so many descriptions in the Bhagavatam. We hear so many of the Lord's pastimes, in particular this pastime. In particular, this pastime means the pastime of Krishna and Balaram. When they are old enough, they are given the responsibility of taking care of the calves. So we may say, so what? But we should know that in the purport, and to me, some time back, it took me many years actually to kind of find this purport, because there's so many purports. Short sentence given by Srila Prabhupada here, in 5 words. This was the system of education. This activity of small boys going out with the calves, this was the system of education. It's not that this was the system of education and now we have a new system of education. It's not that before, well, yes, that's how people used to live, but now we're living this way. Krishna specifically appears in the material world. Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya saduskritam dharma samstapanartaya sambhavami yuge yuge. To re-establish, to reawaken us to how we are meant to live. The unique features of Krishna's pastimes in Vrindavan is that not only they teach us, not only they bring us to the highest realm of transcendence, which is Krishna's relationship with the gopis and Srimati Radharani, and that is glorified throughout the 10th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam. Not only does Krishna teach us spiritual subject matters, especially in Vrindavan and his dealings with his devotees, but equally important, and which we tend to forget, even we read it, we don't understand it, is that Krishna is teaching us. Krishna and all the residents of Vrindavan, they are teaching us what is meant to be the standard in terms of lifestyle. What is meant to be the standard in terms of economy. What is meant to be the standard in terms of education. Prabhupada, although briefly, makes a difference between what is called academic education, which is known as formal education. Formal education is when you go to a building that's called a school, and you sit there and you receive knowledge. That type of education, Prabhupada is telling us, is only for those who are by nature Brahminical, Brahmanas. In Kali Yuga, we don't have many. Even in the best of times, Brahmanas are a very, very small percentage. Very, very small percentage. It means that actually in the Vedic culture, as Prabhupada mentions here, majority of people don't go to school. I'm sure many young boys would be happy to hear this. Or even older boys. You see, we cannot, it's like the example I'm giving of the chanting of the holy name. It is not at all easy. All of us, anyone who's been chanting for some time, even for many years, it is not so easy to penetrate, to actually enter into that realm, that transcendental realm. Because Krishna is explaining, isn't it, in the Bhagavad Gita, Bhakto sime sakacheti rahasyam hitadutamam. This knowledge, transcendental knowledge, this Raja Vidya, Raja Vidya, Raja Guyam. Guyam is very confidential. Rahasyam, very mysterious. What we need to understand is that not only is spiritual subject matter, spiritual topics, not only is transcendental knowledge confidential, even material material knowledge or material way of life, which is described in the Bhagavatam, is also confidential. Everything about Krishna is not so easily or so cheaply understood. And of course, we are in Kali Yuga. It makes it even more difficult for us to understand even simple matters. We all know, well, we think we know what is education, but actually, when we read the Bhagavatam, especially this section, see, there's a whole psychology. There's one book out of the 64 arts and sciences. Vedic culture is a very involved culture. And in addition to the Vedas, the Puranas, the Upanishads, etc., there are 64 arts and sciences. One of them is called Krishna Krida. Who has a copy of this book, Krishna Krida? Probably, yeah, one, two. Same family. Krishna Krida is describing the activities of Krishna and Balaram and his friends in Vrindavan when they were going out with the cows. Our misfortune in present-day modern so-called advanced civilization is that we're not able to relate with things that are very simple. Krishna's pastimes in Vrindavan are actually very simple. And it is only by understanding these pastimes, which can only be, they can only be properly understood when we actually live, when our lives are molded based on the activities of the residents of Vrindavan. Actually, this is a very major subject matter which is also of major importance. In our educational institutions around the world, whether it is at the primary level or the higher secondary, graduate, postgraduate level, there is so much of tension because actually modern education is actually missing the point in many respects. And Srila Prabhupada was naturally, as an acharya representing the Vedic culture, and as an acharya, Vaishnava acharya, feeling great compassion for the sufferings of the living entities, not only in the human form of life, wanted us to understand some of the basic, attracted to flowers, I guess, yeah. Don't give too many flowers to the speakers. Prabhupada wanted us to understand some of these basic concepts. And it is very much connected with what is being described here, because education is something that all of us, education is promoted in every country around the world, but we are missing the point of what is education. We're missing what is meant to be the ultimate goal of education, which is to understand about Krishna. And we are also missing the point that actually this type of formal education is meant only for only a few. And we will never be able to understand what is being described here unless we reconnect actually with village life. This is one of the important messages that Srila Prabhupada was trying to convey to all of us. Vedic culture, Vedic lifestyle is a village culture, is an agrarian lifestyle, where we are intimately, directly associating with Mother Nature, where every single day we are also associating with Mother Cow. Mother Cow, Mother Nature are meant to nourish us in so many different ways, which are actually essential for our material well-being. There's more coming. Yes, let them go. I should remove all my... Yes. Hare Krishna. Within our Iskcon society, we are all endeavoring, we should all be endeavoring to assist Srila Prabhupada, our founder Acharya, to fulfill the various instructions he has given, because that is described in the Shastra. The perfection of a disciple is to know, to understand the instructions given by the spiritual master and to fulfill. It's only by understanding them that we can fulfill, at least we can begin or endeavor to fulfill those instructions. Although Prabhupada gave many instructions, amongst many of these important instructions, he spoke about 50% of his unfulfilled mission, which is directly connected with this particular verse. Now, I'm sure many of you, it's not the first time you're hearing some of these points, but it needs to be heard again and again, because we're living, one of the four principles, or one of the four vows that we take. Devotees who are committed and who take initiation, they take four vows. And one of the vows is not to gamble. Now, gambling is not only just, throwing dice or whatever. Gambling is also living in a way which is not ordained and supported in Shastra. The whole modern way of life is a very big gambling activity. We are not properly understanding. Prabhupada wanted that we endeavor to reestablish what is being described here, to reestablish this culture, this Vedic culture. Vedic culture is a very practical, down-to-earth culture. and Prabhupada and our various acharyas make the point that actually, unless we come back to this more simplified way of living, lifestyle, unless we come back to this more simple system of education, natural system of education, which is being described here, we will not be able to so easily understand the spiritual dimension of life. In many ways, we should see it, and our acharyas explain it in this way, because the vast majority of living entities in the material world, known as or identified as Baddha Jeev. What does Baddha Jeev mean? conditioned by the modes of material nature. And therefore, as long as we're conditioned by the modes of material nature, we need to closely follow what is prescribed in terms of different systems that Krishna has created. So there's a tremendous need, and a very urgent need as well, for more of our devotees to understand this. And practically speaking, what is needed is what is called a paradigm shift. You know what a paradigm shift is? Paradigm shift is you're going in this direction and all of a sudden you're supposed to go in the other direction. Modern day civilization is going towards ever increasing urbanization, industrialization, materialism, etc. We're going in the wrong way. The more we increase this erroneous way of doing and of living, it makes it more and more difficult to actually take up to spiritual life or to practice nicely spiritual life. Therefore, that is why Krishna created a system and lived a particular lifestyle, which is the lifestyle, the ideal natural lifestyle is that lifestyle in Vrindavan. And that particular lifestyle is directly, closely, every single day connected with these two mothers. Actually, there are three mothers. Three mothers with whom we should be connecting every day. We're connecting with one mother now, which is Shastra, or knowledge, isn't it? We're hearing, we should be hearing on a daily basis, because in this way, we get nourished. We get some knowledge, some little understanding. Similarly, every day we need to be nourished by the other two mothers. But in the way we're living, most of us, the whole modern civilization is in so many ways not allowing us to be nourished by Mother Nature. Rather, we are exploiting Mother Nature. We are destroying Mother Nature in so many ways. We are exploiting Mother Cow. The more we exploit and destroy these mothers, it means that we are destroying ourselves, isn't it? We're meant to be nourished by them, and we're destroying them, which means that they cannot nourish us. It is extremely important, when we read such type of purport as given by Srila Prabhupada, to try and understand, what is being conveyed. And it's actually the responsibility of all of us, individually and also, of course, collectively. Collectively means like every temple also has that responsibility. Every temple has a congregation, either a full-time devotees in the temple or congregation or devotees living outside. It's a major subject matter which somehow I happen to be a bit more, let's say, focused on trying to bring to whatever extent is possible. And therefore, there's one particular book whenever I come here, I bring this book because it's important for every devotee to have a copy of this book. It is containing Srila Prabhupada's most important instructions related to what is meant to be the natural Vedic way of living, connecting us with cows, connecting us with nature, connecting us with the need to hear on a regular basis this knowledge that is describing our Vedic culture. Srila Prabhupada spoke about this 50 years ago. Actually, he spoke about it even before that, before leaving India. He spoke about the importance and the need. And just to remind, I guess, myself and all of us, we have personalities like Grandfather Bhishmadev, who is one of our 12 Mahajans, great teachers, authorities on the principles of Dharma. This is all connected with Dharma, wherein in his very first instruction to Yudhishthira Maharaj, what does he say? This is in the first canto, 9th chapter, describing the passaway of Grandfather Bhishmadev. The very first instruction he gives to Yudhishthira Maharaj is, now you are the newly established monarch after the battle of Kurukshetra. Now you please nicely establish and organize this system of Varna and Ashrama, Varnashrama. And in that purport, Srila Prabhupada makes, I would say, an amazing statement, which all of us should try to remember. Prabhupada, in the very first line, he says that this system of Varna and Ashrama, which is created and given to us by the Supreme Lord Himself, is meant to accelerate. Prabhupada uses the word accelerate, which is significant, very significant. This system, this material system, which is actually based on the 4 Vedic sciences, which are practically unknown in modern day society, is meant to accelerate the development of spiritual qualities. This material system, this lifestyle which is being described here in the pages of the Bhagavatam, is meant, in other words, is meant to help us become Krishna conscious. Of course, the chanting of the holy name itself is sufficient if we chant purely the holy name to bring us to that same understanding. But because it is not so easy to chant the holy name purely, because it is not so easy to immediately become fully freed from these modes of material nature, therefore Krishna has arranged a very simple mode of living, lifestyle, which is based on these 3, it's called gifts of nature. Mother cow, mother land, mother nature, and cultivation of knowledge. So actually, I'll just end on this point here. Some years back, actually it was, in India is fortunate in so many ways. All of you who are born in the land of Bharat are extremely fortunate simply by the fact that you're born in what is considered the land of Dharma. Yeah. So India is the only country so far within our Iskcon society that has a ministry that is promoting, actually, it's called IDVM, Iskcon Daiva Varnashram Ministry, which was created actually 2009, and the head office is in Mayapur. And one of the co-ministers is Vasugosh, our dear Vasugosh Prabhu, and also Venugopal Prabhu. So that ministry actually in 2015 started what is called the Om Sri Surabhi campaign to highlight and bring awareness. Surabhi is the name of the original cow in the spiritual world. That's why we chant this mantra, Om Surabhyai Namaha, which is all glories to Mother Surabhi, to remind us that unless we reconnect with these gifts of nature, and we have, that campaign was started, actually was meant to be a 12-year campaign from 2015 to 2027. We're now in 2025, we have 2 years. because within these years we are celebrating many golden jubilees, 50 years. I think here, Hyderabad, when was it celebrated? 50 years already? Huh? Next year, right? Okay, so there you go. So, so many golden jubilees, so many celebrations of 50 years happening. And of course, you're especially fortunate here in Hyderabad because His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada personally came. How many times? 4 times? 6 times. Yes. Thank you. So, I mean, in most places, Prabhupada never, I mean, when I joined, the place I joined, which was in Ottawa in Canada, Prabhupada never came there. In so many places, Prabhupada could not come, but he came here not only once, but 6 times. So, Hyderabad, and this temple in particular, is blessed 6 times by Srila Prabhupada. So, we have till 2027 to deepen our understanding of this 50% of Srila Prabhupada's mission, because then after that, it will be probably more difficult to remember. So my humble request is, actually we have a book table which has this book. This book is also available in digital form. I don't know if somebody can bring it up here. There is a digital, what is it? There's a, you can actually scan. It's a QR code is there. In any event, that will be available here. And we need to read these kind of purports, and we need to meditate on the meaning, and we need to, once we gain some understanding, we need to endeavor, asking the mercy of Srila Prabhupada and Sri Radha Madan Mohan, Sri Gauranitai, Lord Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra, their blessings, so that we can actually begin to implement these important instructions given by Srila Prabhupada. We can take a few minutes for any possible comments and questions. Yes.
Yes. Hare Krishna Maharaj, Dhanavad Pranam. So thank you for the wonderful class. So Prabhuji, you said that like those days education system was good. So this education system was good those days when Krishna was there. So now education system was linked with other system also, like social system, political system, economic system. But
speak like this.
Like I was saying, those days education system was good, and this education system was linked with other system also in society, like political system, economic system, and more. But now we see education system is not good as we compare to further. So
education system is not
good if we
not
compare.
Good. Okay.
If we compare.
Yes.
So because of that, we face many problems in society, in
Yes.
political, in
Yes.
politics, political
Yes.
system,
Yes.
environmental, and many things. So
now
my question is,
okay. Now coming to the question.
my question. This is my one point I said. Now question related to agriculture. So you said that we should depend on agriculture, and we should take whatever is there. But nowadays population is huge. So we have invented many things in agriculture, like new techniques, which is linked with many problem also. So should we invent many techniques in agriculture which can be helpful for giving food to population, or we should take whatever is earth is giving? Should we invent many things? This invention is linked with many problem also. Like if we
should we invent?
Should we discover or invent new techniques in agriculture? Like we have discovered pesticides for growing more crops, and this pesticides is, if we are sprinkling, many problem related to.
Thank you for the question. It's like, should we continue to invent, which means should we continue to speculate? And that's what it means. So we're speculating. Modern day education is a speculation. Modern day agriculture is a speculation. Modern day governance is a speculation. Modern day, everything practically is a speculation because it's not in keeping with the principles of Dharma. Dharma, we are reading about what is called Nitya Lila. Krishna's pastimes are eternal. Krishna's pastimes are meant to educate us as to what is the norm. The eternal norm means what is meant to be the standard. So there's a standard way of living which is advocated, which is explained, and which is demonstrated also throughout the entire Bhagavatam. The whole Vedic culture is an expose of how we are meant to live, what kind of governing system we should have. The ideal system of governance is called monarchy. Monarchy today is not at all popular. Why? Because in Kali Yuga, we've had all bad examples of monarchy. And mostly people know only about bad systems of governance. So the idea is that there is no need, Prabhupada often would explain to us, there's no need to invent anything. There's no need to research. It is all there because we're not reading, because we're not having this knowledge which is actually contained in the Vedic literatures and especially in the Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita. Therefore we speculate. There's no need to speculate. Everything is perfectly presented, both spiritual knowledge as well as material knowledge. So we simply need to actually give the proper attention, and that's why Prabhupada, for example, gave a standing order which today, to this day, we have yet taken up. He wanted that in every temple we have a Varnashram college established, where we actually introduce and train individuals in these 4 Vedic sciences. These 4 Vedic sciences I mentioned briefly a little while ago are practically unknown. One of them is the science of education. That is called Trai, science of education. We're talking about this science of education here. In this short purport, Prabhupada is referring to academic education, which is Gurukul, and telling us that that's only for a few people. The vast majority of other people don't actually need to go to formal school if we live properly. So we need to read and understand and discuss, this philosophy, this lifestyle, and only then we can begin to take some steps to actually reintroduce that lifestyle. So there's no need to continue inventing. There's no need to speculate. The more we speculate, the more we invent on the basis of speculation, the more we go astray, the more we go far away from what is meant to be the norm. So the more we speculate, the more we invent, the more we suffer. That's not very good, right? Any other?
Any other question? Please raise your hand.
One hand is here. Mike is just now coming. Quickly. Yes.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Yes.
Multiple times I have heard your class here.
Can you speak a little slowly?
Sir.
Slow down. This is part of our problem in modern day society. Yeah, go ahead. Slowly.
Multiple times I have heard your classes regarding the Vedic education and living Vedic lifestyle. And some way I desire also. But thing is I desire.
Go ahead.
But I got caught up so much in regarding financial requirement of family or different in the job, the education, what I have gone, whatever, wherever I'm staying. So in a different way, I'm not finding any way to come out from this. You are saying that conditioned life and the whatever the job life I am living. I'm not seeing any way out of that and living that simplified life.
Okay. You come and spend some time with us. Come and spend some time with us. You'll see the light. It's a question of association, number one, and it's a question of actually properly receiving this knowledge which is being presented and associating with people who are actually practically demonstrating that it is possible to revive and to live this lifestyle. Not easy, because the whole system, modern day system, is totally, practically speaking, against. It's totally alien. So it takes a little bit of time, but through association, especially, it is possible. And there are many devotees, both here in India, outside of India. So it's a question of getting in contact with them, spending some time a little bit with them, and things will become possible. Yeah. So I think our time is up. Thank you all very much. And we have a book table somewhere down there. Yeah. Kindly take advantage with what Srila Prabhupada has given us. Hare Krishna. Jai Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki. Hare Bol.
His Holiness Bhakti Raghava Swami Maharaj ki. So as Maharaj was telling, there is a book table in the courtyard, and the book which Maharaj was showing about the Srila Prabhupada's quotes and the guidance of Srila Prabhupada on this topic, Maharaj has compiled this book, and there are many other books also which you can take, and Maharaj is here to sign this book. Stall is in the courtyard.